Today we are here with Arlando Monk, founder of Visionary League. How are you doing today?
Doing fine and tired.
Yes, same. It has been a long month so far for me, Wisconsin Tech Month. We are well into it. Still so many events left to go, and I am so very tired. I know you're doing a lot. We're going to dive into it. But before we do that, as always, I like to start off with a little quirky question. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. So, as it relates to the tech industry and tech ecosystem, what is your pet peeve?
My pet peeve. That's a good one. My pet peeve. I would say, man, it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's
a lot of triggers.
A lot of triggers. The lack of diversity. Just that would be my key.
Yeah.
It's a lack of diversity. That's my pet peeve. It's just not giving us no opportunity. Definitely, as minorities. The low percentage of us being in tech is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it needs to somehow get fixed. But we here, right? You trying and everybody's trying. So then that's all we can do.
Yep. I think it's about making sure that there are opportunities. And I always stress the importance of investing in Black-led tech hubs because we are in community and we know what the community needs. And Milky Way Tech Hub for sure, we're building for our communities. And that's a huge pet peeve for me. I think another one of my pet peeves in the tech space is when corporations talk about their DEI initiatives and don't really know what equity means. That's problematic to me. I hate that. But here we are, Visionary League, Milky Way Tech Hub.
Yes.
We are actively creating solutions for this problem.
Right. I'm trying.
So let's tell the listeners, what's Visionary League? How'd you come up with the name? What is it?
I came up with the name. I like superhero stuff, like Marvel and all that, right? And so I was just at work on third shift, just at my machine, just pissed off because I didn't get an opportunity right in tech, and I was thinking of creating something that stand for something for us, or just us in general, with helping us out. It's been a long journey, which you done heard my story off and on, but it was based off of actually trying to come together and try to do a huge conference. Yep. It was a conference idea, and I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do this conference, how I'm gonna get people to it, right? And so I started backpedaling. I was like, okay, let me do small scale events. So maybe we can do small scale events. But then I was like, okay, if I do these small scale events, what's going to push that, right? And so I was like, okay, I need to come up with a company or organization that could push that. So that's where I start thinking and brainstorming on the Visionary League. And so I start, trying to figure out, a different name. I went over all different kind of names, but when you pissed off, it comes to you like all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
And so,
that's real.
Right. And so I was thinking of the league. I kept saying league. And then I was thinking of myself and I start breaking it down. I was like, okay, I'm a visionary. So I'm going to just pretty much just put two and two together. Just, I'm going to take visionary and then put league to it. And when I thought of league, I thought of togetherness, of the people that I'll be working with and the people that we'll be serving and the people that we'll be collaborating with or whatever, just as a league in general, as a whole, all of us.
Wow.
So it's pretty much based off of me not getting the opportunity in tech and also colleagues and people I graduated with not getting in tech and they end up landing in other jobs that didn't even have to do with tech. And so a lot of different issues, that I dealt with. And so that's where it came from. So.
Wow. So I can really relate to that when you talked about getting pissed off. Listen, I actually started my company because I was upset. Yeah. I was like enraged when I started hearing there are different companies coming together to make Milwaukee a tech hub. I was like, going to these different events, these brainstorming sessions, and it was like just me,
Yeah.
The only sprinkle of pepper and the salt, if you get me. And so that was just like so problematic to me. And I remember it was around 2016, 2017, and I just wanted to see a change. And I was like, this is it. I have to do something. That's really what's, helped me or motivated me to start my own company. So I definitely get that. You and I actually have attended the same church. Pastor Brian.
Pastor Brian.
He was on my podcast maybe two years ago.
Okay.
And he talked to me about how anger can actually be used as a tool because it's something that you can tap into to learn what you care about.
That's true. That's true.
And so I think sometimes we kind of like stray away from different emotions that have negative connotations, but our feelings are there for a reason, right?
Right.
And I have learned, like, sometimes when I do get triggered or I am angry or something makes me sad, I have found it to be important to like kind of tune in, why am I being triggered in this way? And it has helped me to really understand what I care about and to then lean into my purpose. And then I found myself doing things that I really care about. There's so many people who are currently in the workforce doing things that they kind of don't necessarily
don't like or
don't want to do, you know, kind of there for the paycheck. And when I talk to them, they're like, I'm still trying to figure out what my life's purpose is. And I always share with them what Pastor Brian shared with me. It's just like lean into those feelings to kind of see what it is that you care about. One of the things that triggers me in the tech ecosystem is the fact that in tech ecosystem development, marginalized communities are rarely prioritized. And one of the marginalized demographics is the justice involved individuals. So you may or may not know, I work with My Way Out, an organization. So we have a program together where we educate those who have been involved in the justice system on the fundamentals of tech and getting them into the workforce or upskilling them in the field of technology. And man, when I think about how some of these folks have been away for 20, sometimes 40 years, it's just
sad.
So sad.
And they're lost.
So sad.
Yeah.
So sad. I don't know if you were at my Black Tech MKE dinner a couple days ago. Were you there?
I couldn't make it.
Oh man, you missed out. It was great.
I seen the pictures.
Did you see who showed up?
Rose.
Oh my goodness.
He showed up.
He popped up. So that was amazing. We'll talk about that really quick. But Ruben had actually stood up and spoke to the folks that were at that dinner, and he shared that there's something like 210 years of what people had spent in prison of the cohorts that we've served, like in aggregate 200 or something years of all of their time spent in prison. That's crazy.
That's a lot.
That's crazy. We only have 5 cohorts.
Where did he get those numbers from?
Well, I mean, think like one person might have served 5 years, another person 10 years, another person 20 years. And so in aggregate, all the people that we have served.
Total 10.
Total close to 210, I think
that's
is what he said. That's wild. And so that's just really, it continues to drive my passion because I don't know, I get so sad thinking about how, people are having to go through this process and then come out and literally not have any sort of resources to like plug in. Can you imagine being away for 40 years and then coming out to like Alexa, Siri, ChatGPT, augmented reality? That's a lot to process.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So speaking of workforce, you're doing some things in the workforce. You're doing some things to support people in getting jobs, specifically to LinkedIn. Can you talk about that?
Are we talking about the event or just in general?
Both.
So we'll say this. The event itself is very catchy. It's different. A lot of people don't really focus on LinkedIn, and they don't understand how important LinkedIn is to us as entrepreneurs or just people that's job seeking, or just people that's trying to learn more about other things in the industry, right? Because you learn a lot, just watching LinkedIn, just seeing what's coming up in the feed, who's laying off, who to apply for, what's best jobs is out there, what AI is doing. Yep. You learn a lot.
So much.
So yeah, so people don't understand, the more you on LinkedIn, the more you're going to learn and grow. So, so the reason why we did this event, I said, I came up with this idea in my head. I said, look, we need to do an event that's going to workforce driven, for one, and then also it's informative, and do as much as get it out there as much as we can to show the importance of LinkedIn. Like I said, those different areas: entrepreneur, college student, a person that's trying to transition over into tech, or whatever. And so I think it's very important for this event to be out there and make sure that people learn the tips and tricks of what to do and what not to do on LinkedIn. Learn algorithms, the algorithm of LinkedIn, if you're promoting your marketing and stuff, right? Learning what they kind of prevent you from doing with marketing.
Yeah.
And how to stand out and amongst your competition, no matter if you're a job seeker, because you're going to be competing. If you're a college student, or if you're just an individual, or if you're an entrepreneur, even though everybody might know each other and everybody's allies, but it's still competition in their heads in LinkedIn, because LinkedIn look at it and they battle us on how we push out our content.
Yeah.
So we kind of battling, to try to get it out there. So
absolutely. I think LinkedIn is so powerful.
It is.
And not enough people are recognizing its power or leveraging it. And I think it's great that you're hosting an event that's surrounding LinkedIn and its potential to bring more awareness. So for me, I see LinkedIn as a tool for a couple of things. Marketing for sure.
Yes.
But also like marketing a product, but then marketing oneself, like a personal brand too. And then, as you mentioned, just like learning, right? There's just so much content
Yeah.
on LinkedIn. But one thing that I have noticed that I'm sure you guys are going to touch on is like still how new LinkedIn still is in terms of content creation around a video, right? So I know LinkedIn is like a year or two ago, they were having like accelerators to push out more video content, right? And there's still people who are mainly focusing on like text-based content or pictures, but not so much video. And I think the more you're able to push out video content, the more I think the algorithm sort of pushes you out to like new folks. And so I think one of the things that I've been able to excel in, I'm not like a LinkedIn expert by any means, but in my network, I have found that I'm one of the few that actually makes LinkedIn videos. So I don't know if you've ever like gone on LinkedIn and you like seen one of my corny videos, but like I'm, maybe talking about my upcoming events or talking about what's happening in the Milky Way Tech Hub. And then I wonder like, why am I only seeing my videos, right?
Right.
Because I think a lot of people kind of like, are shy about videos or maybe don't necessarily have the tools necessary to like roll videos out quickly, whatever it might be. But I have found that when I push out videos, it does a lot better than some of my other forms of content. And I think it is because LinkedIn is trying to push videos more, because I think that's the trend for most social media platforms is either short form videos or just, like Instagram went from being kind of like a pictures app to now mostly reels and stories, right? Video content. So I would suggest, and I do suggest to most people, like use LinkedIn to build as much content as possible and lean into the videos. I think video marketing is one of the things that's helped me kind of in a David and Goliath situation when I do think about my competitors who have like millions of dollars compared to what I got. We're still able to sort of compete on the same level because I've been able to really use LinkedIn as a way to get our messaging out there.
Yeah.
How have you been able to use LinkedIn for Visionary League?
Oh man, it's like I had to studying marketing for one on each platform, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook, even to meetups to a certain extent also, and all the way into YouTube. I don't really utilize all my YouTube like that, but LinkedIn is in general, I've learned it depends on the music that's added on the video.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, music can also prevent your video from actually
so don't put
hard.
Music.
At times, you shouldn't. And then at times, it's kind of tricky. I don't know why, but lately, like if you've seen like, okay, I know you've seen, us post on Instagram, like certain videos, and I will add that one video that, with our marketing, right? But if you go to LinkedIn, those same videos, I don't have no music. And so, and at times I've learned in the past that if you put music on there, it's not going to push hard, and it depends on the music. Or if you just keep it as like a little graphic or motion graphic, it would do pretty well, you know. And so I've learned that. I'm like, wow, so because it's keeping you from. They want you to pay. That's all it boils down to. They want you to pay. They don't want your post to go hard. They don't want it to go super viral because they know, you know. And so what I've done is kind of figure out different ways of like tagging people, putting different hashtags, making sure the content's kind of staying in the line and staying the same. Because it's also when people understand social media is learning you as you pushing this content, right? They trying to see like you say, you keep pushing your videos. They know you're pushing your videos, and so the more you keep pushing your videos, they're catching on to that, right? And so they grasp onto that, and it's part of the AI thing in the background also. But it's also part of the algorithm. So
the model
is
learning and then pushing out to the audience that you're targeting.
So it's literally learning us,
yes,
you know, as we post. So how we post interacts off of us. And so we have to learn those things.
Now, I have seen some people be very successful with like long posts. Just text, text, not even pictures, just like text, like opinions. And I thought that's interesting. Now, I haven't done that just yet. Because I always like to like couple it with a picture. But you know, I think I should try because I've seen people get like plenty of shares just from like text too.
Yeah.
So I think it's just figuring out like what it is that your audience is looking for, your niche, trying the different things and figuring out what works, and then continually like being consistent with pushing that type of content. For me, I think videos. For sure, but I am interested in trying, you know, other tactics to sort of broaden my audience. But LinkedIn has been truly a great tool, and I see it almost changing journalism. Well, because there was a time where like you would depend on a larger press outlets to pick up on your press releases, right?
Right.
When Wisconsin Tech Month our first year, it was really hard to get people to pick up on it.
Right.
But it didn't. I'm not gonna say it didn't matter, but we were able to combat that challenge by posting on LinkedIn, and then I would see like our posts would still get 10,000 views.
That's
right?
a good thing.
Yeah. And so then I started to say, well, you know, regardless of whether it gets picked up by this outlet or that outlet, we still have a reach.
Bunch of views,
We have a reach, and we're getting to the audience because we've built up that platform to that extent, or we've built up our following that even if it doesn't get picked up by XYZ outlet,
you still get the views.
We're still gonna get the reach that we need to get.
Right.
And so then I wonder, like, if I were, you know, a head editor or running one of these, like, you know, traditional media outlets, I'd be kind of shaking, like, well, if LinkedIn is now like the main source where people are getting their information from, like where does that leave us? And so I think that's it's just we're really starting to see how I guess the whole media space is just evolving, and how it's actually becoming more democratized, where the power is kind of coming in the hands of the individuals, but it's the individuals who know how to use it and know to use it. So that's why your event is so important, and I'm going to continue to push it, because the more of us that know and are able to build our following platforms on LinkedIn, the more useful this platform will be to our communities.
Yeah. The other thing that people don't know is that to push a post is to comment. So somebody told me, make sure you comment on my post. Have you ever seen that? Somebody tell you that?
Yeah, I have a thread where when I post on LinkedIn, I go to my text thread and say, go ahead really quick and boost this. And then everybody goes under and comments under it.
See, and that's what I'm saying. So the more you comment, the more it's going to tap into other people's networks. On top of if you tagging people, it's going to tap into other people's networks.
So have you seen my post? You probably have, where at the top of, before like I even start like getting into the content on my LinkedIn post, I'll say, put a rocket ship emoji in the comments if you support Milky Way Tech Hub. And then I'll go into what the post is about. Because that's me trying to boost the algorithm and say like, hey, do this. I don't care. You don't have to have a thought. Okay.
Just a comment.
Just put the emojis in there. You know what I mean? And it helps significantly. Like I can go to a post that's very similar without that action and then compare it to the one where I am asking people to put that little emoji in the comments, and I mean, the metrics are just completely different.
It's true.
So that's another one of my little tips
Yeah.
is to have some sort of action, like a call to action, whether it's like share your thoughts on this or drop an emoji, whatever it might be. It really does.
We should have had you on the panel.
Yes.
Again,
I'm gonna be there for sure. But it's gonna be a great event. I know. Can you tell everyone when it is and where?
Oh, it's this Thursday coming up. It's going to be at Associated Bank's River Center building down River Center Bank or River Center building. It's whatever.
River Center building.
River Center.
Okay.
It's River Center. The River Center.
I feel like we gotta
wait. We gotta look it up. Hold on, let's look it up because I done posted so many times, but I still. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Wait.
There it is. Associated Bank River Center. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue,
Kilbourne.
second floor.
Yeah.
And it's October 26th at 6 p.m. And it looks like you have a really great lineup of panelists
It's
there
cool
as
lineup.
well. So if you could share a little bit about the panelists.
Oh, the panelist is phenomenal, So we have Alyssa Cuffey. She has her own journey, her own story of how she got to her position at Cisco. But the benefits of her utilizing, LinkedIn, and she learned it and perfected it and kind of went from there. And so now she's doing her thing at Cisco. And then after that, you have Celeste Cuffey, which is, have done a good job with pushing her brand on LinkedIn. So she's been learning, all the things she needs to learn to get by as an entrepreneur. Right. Then you have Nicholas Dillon. Mr. Dillon he's phenomenal. He's been all over the place doing different speaking engagements and learning how to push his brand, motivating people on a day-to-day basis, but learning LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, but more so definitely Facebook and LinkedIn. He's definitely pushed those things and try to figure it out, and he's actually done perfected it. So then you have Mallory. Mallory is part of the talent acquisition team, and she's part of the hiring recruiting at, Associated Bank. So she knows all the things that you need to do, as in putting your resume on.
Put your personal brand out there.
Yeah, push your personal brand and putting your resume out there and how to stand out. And if you're going to have your resume on there, if you're not, or, whatever. So that's key for her. So that's what she do. And then Jamar, and
he's going to bring it every time.
He's going to bring it every time. He knows how to push. And so he's a brand genius, branding genius alone. So all of those, him and his squad, what he's doing at Forever Media is pretty dope. So, and they know how to push on LinkedIn. Yeah. So they do a phenomenal job. So everybody on the panel knows what to do, how to get by on LinkedIn without having to pay all that money to push your brand, right? In general, but everybody's doing a good job. So this is what they're going to bring to the table for the people that come there for the event.
It's going to be a great event. One of the questions that I know I'm going to ask is how to leverage your personal brand to push a product. And like, where should you draw the line? Because I have gone back and forth with that for a while myself. Like, people follow me more than Milky Way Tech Hub. Right. And I'm like, is that a good thing, or should I push Milky Way Tech Hub more? And then now I'm seeing, like, on Instagram, like, the lines are just blurred completely. Like, basically what I post on my personal page is now, because I'm always talking about tech, I just carry it over to Milky Way Tech Hub and you tag it, right? And like, same with LinkedIn and Facebook. And so I'm just curious, like, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I cannot wait to hear what the panelists have to say about that, because we're trying to build our personal brand and build ourselves as subject matter experts, and at the same time push a business brand too. And like, what does a healthy intersection look like?
You want my opinion on that?
I would, yes.
I actually, tell you the truth, it's a good thing, because people know that you're tied to what you built regardless. And so what they want to know you. Yeah. They want to know more of you. The more you push you, but at the same time push your brand is key. So they want to know more what you're doing and what you're up to, but it's tying to what you done built, right? And so the tech month or whatever case may be, or you doing workshops or whatever, they want to know what you're doing outside of, you know, of your brand, right? Or that's tied to your brand. Yep. So it's crazy, because you are absolutely right. People want to know more about you, and then you get more engagement off of you than you do on there. But here's the thing that we're not learning or not knowing, or some people don't know. Our business pages get watered down. it gets toned down from LinkedIn and Facebook as much as possible. So when you push, it depends. And it's not every company, but it's like at times, some things don't push as hard for your company as it would for your personal self because they want you to pay. And so they try their best to make sure that your business pages don't excel too far when you push for some odd reason. Like Facebook alone, they pretty much want you to pay money to push that. Because if you want to push your business page on there,
put an ad.
You got to put an ad. You got to do a boost and put an ad out there, or make a personal page, which could be a business page at the same time. Then now you're tapping into your people that's following you.
Okay, so like instead of making it a Milky Way Tech Hub business page, make it like a
Milky Way Tech Hub personal page. Now you can engage as much as possible, like it's your personal self.
Got it.
Then
so that's one way to trick the algorithm.
Yep, and now it goes back to your personal self. And because it's now your brand is now its personal self, but it's still tied to you. But now you're able to interact even more now.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, more tips to come on the events. The date of the event one more time?
October 26th, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. at the River Center. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.